Anything outside of yourself, you're always the view, okay? And things are happening around you. Doesn't matter what it is. If that's you, your other bodies, or if it's somebody you knew or whatever, you look at what's taking place, you look at what's being shown to you, okay? You're getting objective view, so it doesn't matter because we're all dealing with the same things with our personal self. So however you define it, so it's what do you see with the characters and their intentions and what are they doing? That's what you want to look for. So whether it's you or the next person, it's all the same thing. It's like the old saying, you know, you're going to see yourself and everybody else. And this is what we do too, because creation reflects itself. It's just a house of mirrors. Everything reflects. Okay. And so eventually we start to see through these things and we start to see something else. Again, the sun shining, we compare it with that. It's like, you know, what's the difference between, okay, what I'm seeing with these people and, what I'm seeing with the sun shining as an example. So you compare back and forth because you know that there's more than just creation. So yes, you're identifying these things that you consciously and unconsciously relate to, and that's okay. And so as you go along after a while, you kind of let go instead of, you know, the idea here is to collect things, to collect knowledge, whatever, to collect friendships, to collect ideas, stamp it all with, you know, etc. We collect these things. Well, you know, we can refer to anything, but we don't have to collect it. We don't have to stick it on ourselves. You know, the a good example is race car drivers. Now, I don't know if they have races, but in the United States, they have like the Indy 500 or whatever. And when these race car drivers are interviewed, they wear these overalls as they're in the car. And these overalls have all these stamps on them, like Walmart, Dunlop tires, whatever. You see all these stamps all over them. That's how the personal self, that's like the personal self. It's a good example, collects all these things. And when you see the monarchy with the queen there, okay, she comes in normal dress or whatever. She don't care. She's the head reptilian. But the men that are around her, the old guys, usually have uniforms on with a bunch of medals and a sash and all these things. See, they stick all that stuff on themselves because this is their identity, you see? And so as you're going through these experiences, you're learning to see what you've always identified with. And you don't get rid of anything. This, again, nothing is negated. We don't go from one side of the place to the other, back and forth. No, we just see it for what it is. And then we recognize that, you know, I don't have to wear that. You know, I can just be okay and it's fine, but I don't have to keep agreeing to it, especially unconsciously, you see, because we've plugged ourselves into these things. So that's what you're seeing, and you're always the objective view. It's your movie. You're the objective view till you recognize the isness, your being of light. And so, and that's the endless part. So this now becomes your journey. So yeah, and again, when you listen to the experiences of anybody here, basically they're going through it. They're going through their personal self first, because have to learn to unravel, you might say, all these things that we've just, pulled to ourselves, all these identities with, yeah, everything is labeled, everything is labeled. And that's what the controllers want. They want you to identify with all these labels that, oh, that's me, and oh, I was that, and my heritage, and I'm connected to this and that and whatever, okay. But what you do is you just stick yourself with all this stuff, and it's all, see, once you consciously start to do it, then it goes into the unconscious, and it stays there because you decided that's what you want to be stuck with. So again, you're the objective view there, and simply look at every character and see the intent of those characters and simply recognize it. You see, that's the fun part. This is an effortless journey once we make it effortless, and you just simply let go and let the characters be, whatever. And then you play in the play yard, and you learn to focus. And like reading a book, You learn to see what's real. Learn to see the all is. Okay, so it's like if you couldn't read, but then all of a sudden you can read, all of a sudden you're recognizing what it is. So you're going through the process of learning to read what life is. In the meantime, you got that little self to deal with because it's stubborn and it wants its way and it likes all these little things, which is understandable. So it's like a little wild child. We all have to deal with it. As we're on our journey here, as we're recognizing these things each day, we do a little. We just learn to recognize because it's a big picture. It's huge. We've collected things and ideas and had experiences for lifetimes. Just use that as a view too, as a reference of just imagine. You don't even have to go into the so-called research of your lifetimes and go on the real side and go into all the records. No, it's just whatever it is, and it's huge. And so again, I like to simplify things. I just simply look at the playing field now and what's going on, etc., and just learn to be in the moment and let the past be. And I'm not concerned about any future because it's just whatever you make up, and things are going to happen anyhow as you decide things, so it's going to come about. And so in the meantime, again, the opportunity to learn to compare and recognize the is every moment. That's a decision each person makes, and that's where my focus is. That's my focus and intent, and to do that, I do that every moment that I can consciously, because that's all that matters to me. So again, you decide, how you're going to go about your journey, and it doesn't matter if the end result's the same. If you want to stand real with the is and recognize yourself as a complete free being, well then however you go about it is fine. You see, and the personal self is like whatever. It doesn't matter what you eat. All right, because that's the body, that's personal self. It's about your intent, your focus, and now you have a real purpose. Your real purpose is to recognize the is and stand real with it, because the is only focused on survival. That's it, real survival, not with bodies, not with attitudes, not with all this stuff and looking to authorities and whatever. That's not real survival. That's struggling with attitudes and others. The real survival is totally clean of all that. And now all of a sudden you're with all these other beings of light that their focus is that too. Wow. So they support you, you support them. So if that's the end result, well, it doesn't matter how you get there. So have fun doing it. Yeah.